Hello and welcome back to Green Money Momentum, where we talk about market movements, making money, and money momentum. And I'm going to sound like a broken record here, as once again, investors cannot be too happy with what they saw in the markets today, as the overall market sell-off continued. And so a lot of great stocks, cryptos, and ETFs saw a lot of big red candlesticks today. And so a lot of investors were eating on these red candlesticks, and overall, it was just a really negative day in the market. A lot of plays never even tapped green today. So a lot of plays started off in the red, and as the day went on, they only got more red. And so everything was on a downward slide today. But what is positive is our beloved BigBearAi actually did see some green today. So in the pre-market, we saw some green for Big Bear, and then slowly or shortly after the markets opened, we saw some more green from the Big Bear. But BigBearAi did continue on the overall trend we've been seeing in the markets, which is red. And so Big Bear, just like everything else, did finish red today. But myself, I am very bullish on the Big Bear. And I think what we saw in Big Bear today is very positive, and it has just been ignored because of the overall macroeconomic trends that we are seeing. We actually got some really positive news for Big Bear today. That is why it was a little green in the pre-market. And so I'm going to be talking about that, as well as doing my technical and fundamental analysis of BBAI. But before I do that, I want to say, as always, that this is not financial advice, and I always recommend doing your own due diligence before making any financial decisions. So let's start with the technical analysis of BigBearAi. With Big Bear, the stock started to gain some positive price movements towards the upside. Right when it was around $2, we started to see Big Bear start to trade higher. And we've seen this trend with Big Bear. So I drew out this support and resistance level for Big Bear, and we could see that we are still trading above it. And so this resistance, support and resistance level sits right at the 200-day moving average. And so as we record this video, Big Bear is right, continuing on this trend, and is right at the 200-day moving average. Also, when we look at the other indicators for BigBearAi, we could see that the stock is heavily oversold. And so on the MACD, it's looking oversold, and we could see it's also at the bottom of the RSI. And so the last two times we were at this spot on the RSI, we did see a bounce in the Big Bear. And just technical analysis wise, if you're going to invest into a stock, of course, you don't want to invest when it's high flying and gaining a lot of momentum every day, when there's a lot of fear of missing out in the stock. The best times to invest historically is when there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and investors are not feeling the best about their position. We know with Big Bear that this sell-off has been unwarranted. And when we look at the overall volume chart for BigBearAi, we could see that a lot of volume has left this stock. And so recently, when fear of missing out with Big Bear was at its highest, right when Big Bear was right around $9 to $10, and there was a lot of fear of missing out, we had a market cap of around 1.2 billion. And so we could see we have trailed back underneath the $1 billion market cap for Big Bear. And so during these times of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, this is where you could really know what your stocks are made out of. During times of retraction, like we have been seeing, this is where cheap stocks will just get cheaper, and where great stocks will take a dip, but it will just be a potential buying opportunity for the future. Despite Big Bear being a cheaper stock when it comes to price, I don't think that this stock is cheap when it comes to the actual intrinsic value behind it. If you're unfamiliar with what BigBearAi is, I'm going to read this right here. Big Bear's strategic edge lies in its high caliber leadership and close ties to the U.S. military. Newly appointed CEO Kevin, a former acting Secretary of Homeland Security, brings critical national security expertise to the helm. And so this right here is what gets me so bullish on the Big Bear. And that is their real world application, what they're really looking to provide and what they are as a company. And so this isn't just another low dollar company that doesn't provide anything and just got bought during the hype that the market was seeing. So Big Bear, even though it has taken a little bit of a retraction, like I was saying, I still believe that we are seeing strength within this stock. And despite macroeconomics being bad, if we do get some good news in the market soon, or if things start to balance out a little better, I think Big Bear will start to see some positive price movements again. And I think that now is a great time to buy the Big Bear dip, especially because I haven't seen anybody talk about this today. It's kind of being hidden in the overall bigger news that the market has been talking about today. So again, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt has kind of dwarfed this right here. But that is that Big Bear again was awarded another contract for the critical Department of Defense. And so again, they have gotten another military contract, and this contract is pretty good. It's going to be a 3.5-year contract, and it's going to be worth $13.2 million. And so this is another big win for the Big Bear. During these times in the market where everything is red, nobody is happy. This is when news like this tends to get shadowed. And so we saw the big pop in the morning. This was because of this news release. And so the news that Big Bear got this contract sent this stock right up. But overall macroeconomic conditions were bad, and that's why we continued to see this sell-off. And what great traders know is that the overall market and the macroeconomic trends that we are seeing is just affecting every stock in play. And that during times of fear, uncertainty, and doubt like this, bad news tends to feel even worse. And the market takes it even worse, has an even bigger sell-off. And then on the flip side, when everything is green, when things are going great, when you get big news like this could really shoot a stock straight up. And so BigBearAi getting this contract is huge. This just only helps with their revenue each year. We also saw in their earnings call recently that they did pay down a lot of debt, which is what we want to see for BigBearAi. But myself, I'm just a retail trader. So even if you don't trust me, well, maybe you'll trust this. And that is that a lot of institutional investors did hop into BigBearAi at the end of last year. So we could see here on 12/31, we could see all the change in shares. And these are all institutional investors that added into BigBearAi. And so it looks like we have some pretty big companies that are bullish on the Big Bear. We have Morgan Stanley, we have BlackRock, we have Vanguard, and a couple others. And so you got to ask yourself, why did these big institutions want to buy into Big Bear? And well, I believe it's because of their intrinsic value. It's because what they are providing for the government, again, providing AI technology for defense. We could see Big Bear continue to gain more contracts and continue to gain more value. They just paid off a lot of debt, and they just picked up another contract, signaling that their balance sheet should be getting better. And let's not forget what sent Big Bear up the first time when it went all the way up to $10, and that was another Department of Defense contract. So it's like they just got two big contracts back to back. I think if the overall market was greener right now, if the overall investor sentiment was better, I think we would be seeing an even higher price for BigBearAi. But this makes me even more bullish on the Big Bear, and I think that later in the year, we're going to be having a lot more excitement and a lot more fun when we watch my BigBearAi videos. This is a great buying opportunity right now. I would not fade the Big Bear. Even though the markets may continue to see some more red, I know that a flip will have to come eventually. And again, talking about intrinsic value, even though this is a small cap stock, it is not just a trash stock. There's a lot of value behind it. And I see the balance sheet for Big Bear shifting in 2025 and beyond. But I would love to hear what everyone else has to say in the comments section below. So please drop a comment, please leave a like, and please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.